I don't even like to introduce the show because it creates a
Yeah.
separation
Yeah.
from the world that we're talking about. But what you were saying before was you just had a moment. You said what? So you were saying before the camera went on about your experience of recognizing something.
I recognized I was free.
You recognized you were free.
I knew I was free, yeah. Are you asking me about?
Yeah, you were free from what?
Okay, I was in prison, right?
Right. Ananta I'm with Ananta. She had an experience in a Japanese prison where she had to be really silent for 3 years.
Yeah, silence was about 2.5 years.
And it was torture. Or
I wasn't being tortured, but the situation that I was in was everything I didn't want, right? So we were working in a factory every day, so there was a lot of physical, the body was really pushed to its limits in many ways. And so there was an extreme physical pain going on. And of course a mental pain.
Because you were in prison.
Resisting the experience, always every moment wanting a different experience. The mind was going nuts, always looking at the calendar, counting the days, trying to work out
how many more days.
Yeah, I mean, so it was, the whole system was like at an extreme. And I would say after about 1 year or so of believing myself to be a victim, yeah.
Well, yeah, that's how most people would feel.
Yeah, and wanting to die.
Because it was just awful, yeah.
And complete physical exhaustion. I wasn't sleeping. At night I would just go into lucid dreaming. There was not much sleep happening. And at the end of each day after the factory, we were not allowed to lean back against the wall or to lay down.
Wow.
We had to sit.
You did? Why? I mean, it's
because that's the rules.
You couldn't lean back. Wow.
So you couldn't lean against the wall except when you knew that they weren't looking, right? So the awareness, this was the interesting part actually, was that there was a game of awareness with itself. There was the awareness of all the guards trying to catch the prisoners to talk or to make one wrong move. And there was the intensity of awareness of the prisoners waiting for a moment to make the move.
You were aware of both, the guards and the prisoners? Or you were
Absolutely. Awareness is aware of both, right?
Yeah.
And so there's this intensity of awareness where you're waiting for every moment to quickly speak or lean against the wall, or so it's really an intensity, and this was getting stronger and stronger and stronger.
This
and stronger.
Awareness was getting stronger and stronger.
Because if you don't relate, if you don't have any relationship, all the roles fall away. You're no longer a female if there's no male.
You're no longer anything.
You're no longer anything.
To anything.
There's no role to play.
Right.
So then what is left? When there's no role to play.
What was left? Just awareness, you said?
What is left when there's no role to play?
I guess it is just, I don't know, I'm still playing some roles.
Well, like, so there's no relating happening, so there's only that.
Yeah.
And that was getting stronger every day. And then one night, I remember, we were allowed to lay back at 7 p.m.
They were being nice one night.
No, every night at 7 p.m. we could then lay back.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And this evening at 7 p.m. I laid back and I put these big covers over the top of me, and I just started falling. It was the experience of real, like all the weight of the body, everything. I always do this when I'm sharing. I always say drop into and through your experience, because this is what happened in that moment was that the extreme pain of the body, the moment I started to relax, I could feel that pain. And it was like I was falling into the pain and through
the pain.
The pain. And
the pain was no longer the drama of the
no
moment.
more, no.
You were aware of it, but you weren't.
I was experiencing it, but
Yeah.
just falling through the body pain, falling, 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 falling. Like now I always say the mind is moving like that, fall through the layer. And then it was like I was falling forever and ever and ever. And then a moment came where it just opened up. And yeah.
Everything just opened up.
Everything opened. Everything opened. And there was, I mean, when I start speaking about this, I feel like you know, it's not about a spiritual experience, this realization, but in that moment was a spiritual experience.
What was exactly? What?
Everything opened up as light.
You saw that as light.
As light, everything was light, everything was just full of, you can call it bliss, but that's not the experience of...
You mean the prison, the guards, the prisoners, everything?
Everything was gone. I was just... It was like I dropped into my experience and consciousness opened. Opened. And I knew that I was free. And in my interpretation of my mind, when the mind came back, was that I'd now found a place where I could go.
So your mind was gone and you were floating in bliss there for...
There was only that. I wasn't floating in it.
It was only that. It was no you.
Only that. And so when the mind started, at the same moment, there was like, what's this? Yeah? And I just kept letting go kept happening into that. And there was the experience of all through the body a kind of bliss. No pain. And so it was like I'd found a place where I could go. So every day I started dropping to
every
that
day
place.
after work.
Yeah.
But while you're in the factory...
Right, but the next morning when I woke up, there was no more frantic mind of, where am I going to go? Blah, 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 blah. There was the recognition of a beautiful sun rising, this amazing moment, and the joke of these uniforms, and the joke of the guards screaming. There was a smile inside that I knew that nothing could touch, nothing could take. And in that there was a peace that I knew could never be locked up and could never be taken away. Nothing could...
So it didn't matter if you were in prison or not in prison?
It didn't matter anymore. I wasn't in prison anymore. The walls of the cell were no longer a boundary. And from that day on started like every day was an opening.
Yes.
And it was as if there was like in my chest like a bursting with love. And where was this love coming from? I didn't have any idea, oh, this is awakening or this is anything.
No.
I just
It was
was
just a
shifting. Shifting. And this burst of love was there, and it was like I was everybody in the planet. I was love for everybody in the planet, for the guards, for every prisoner, for every love was just exploding. And each day realizations were coming through. So this was like not one moment of a shift, it was then for a period of months following a deepening and opening over...
Is it still happening?
Not like that.
That
No.
was a
That's
crack.
what
Yeah.
I would call a spiritual
Awakening.
shift, an experience which many people go through when they open up as that.
Uh-huh. As pure consciousness, or whatever you want to call it in a way.
Yeah, I was experiencing myself as that, and the experience of me was happening in that.
Mm.
That's still happening.
The experience of you as this
Little victim.
Or this little individual within the world.
Being locked up in prison was just like...
That was just a little thing compared to the big thing.
Yeah. There was no longer victim story going on.
Mm.
There was the beauty of...
existence.
Yes, yes. And it was pouring in day after day after day, revelation. It was just pouring in. And this went on for months and months. And of course, I had the great illusion that the thing I wanted most was to get out of there and back.
Back to your old self, right?
Back to England, right?
Yeah.
Back to get out of that. Still, I had that illusion.
Still, even though you're having the other thing, you were having this other...
Still, there was the belief that... They don't tell you the date when you're going to get out. It's a complete shock.
Oh, I see. But you knew you were in there for about 3 years.
Yeah.
And so you didn't know. So
the day when I came out and came back, it was the greatest disappointment.
it was... But wait, you were having these ongoing revelations, and then you were released at somewhere along.
Yeah,
So
I was
2
released.
something years in prison. You had this. They let you out. What was disappointing? Because it wouldn't matter.
Because I was having this great experience of existence. The miracle itself was happening here. And all I could see was people were running with their and in their stories and not noticing the miracle. And when I came back, my parents started to call me by the name they gave me, and a personality started arising.
You were able to witness this, though,
All
which
of
is
it,
a great thing.
all of it. I saw the identity reform itself. The roles start to appear
You
again.
saw it, but you didn't buy into it.
I knew it wasn't me. I knew it wasn't true, and there was nobody that I could tell this to.
You were you were a little familiar with the Osho tradition, but it was.
I was very familiar.
But no one described your experience, is what you said.
I couldn't relate the experience I was having to what Osho was speaking of as that.
You couldn't relate it to anything.
No, it didn't look like anything. It didn't. What I understood of enlightenment, I didn't even consider that this was the shift. That was some big experience of something else. I still had anger arising. I still had irritation. I still had all those things. How could I be... No, I didn't even consider any of that.
But what did you have along with all those things, though? You had anger, but you had this other thing.
I knew that all those things arising were nothing to, were not anything to do with me. Were not me. Were not touching me.
So do you still have a sense of that space?
All that still arises. All the human...
No, but a sense of this other space, too. This space that can't touch, that who you really are. That's where you're coming from. Is that what?
I am that.
And I guess I must be that, too.
Absolutely,
But
yeah.
I am still caught in my drama, I suppose.
And you see that. You
I
see the
that.
drama.
I do see the drama.
And is there any part of you that's not caught in that drama?
The part that sees it is not caught in the drama at all.
Right.
Yeah.
And what is here right now?
The part that sees that, yeah.
Right. And does this come and go?
Yeah, it comes and goes.
The part that sees it comes
Well,
and go?
I'm not aware of it when it goes. I'm aware when it's here, but it seems to come and go because I get sucked back in to the drama.
You mean the awareness of awareness comes and goes?
Yes.
And what is aware of that it comes and goes?
Well, I only am aware once I'm back in the awareness state. So when it goes and I get pulled in,
Yeah.
then I'm not aware, and it's when I'm coming out of it and I can see, oh yeah, that was another. That's what I feel comes and goes.
Right, but the experience is coming and going, right?
The awareness
The experience
of
of being in the awareness of awareness
is
comes and
coming
goes.
Yes,
right?
But you're saying the awareness doesn't come and go. Is that what you're saying?
Okay, in this moment,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Can you, in this moment, you are aware of the empty space in this room?
The empty.
In between these two bodies.
Yeah.
It appears like there's an empty space.
Yes.
In between these two bodies.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Does this come and go? Even if you're not aware of it?
No, I guess that doesn't come and go, does it? It's the awareness of that is there.
Right.
This
empty space in between these bodies, is it ever not here?
No, it's here.
Right. Even if you completely forget about it. And
right. Okay, I get it.
The thinking process is moving and you jump on that.
Right. That
still
is
happening in
yes.
this that never moves.
Right.
Right?
Okay.
So once there's a moment of, like if I ask you in this moment, where do you end and this empty space begin? In this moment.
I guess, if it's not my body, then, and it's like if my awareness is also there.
But you're using the thinking to say, I guess, and logically, but in this moment...
In this moment, where do I end? I can't see where I end.
Right. Is there an ending of you in the beginning of this space?
Is there an ending of me in the beginning of this space?
Of this empty space in between these bodies, where do you end and this empty space in between these bodies begin?
I mean, I know what you're saying, I think.
And if you can just, it's so easy and so simple. That's why it's so difficult, because the mind is used to, it's like the mind tries to get it, and the mind cannot get it. It's a moment of stopping, just one moment of stopping, one tiny moment of seeing. Yeah. So if I ask you and you don't use this thinking to check for the answer.
Right, good. Thank you for saying that. Okay.
If you don't use that,
Okay.
if I ask you to, in this moment, as we meet here, yeah, and you take a look, without using any thinking, you take a look, where do you end and I begin?
Yeah, there is no.
There is no. You cannot find a place where you end.
No.
So this what appears like an empty space between these bodies, this formless presence, has taken a form, looks through these eyes.
Oh, I get that. So that's what you're saying. The formless that exists in the emptiness is the thing that never ends. Is that? I mean, No, I'm trying to. I mean, it's just a moment of realization about that. Yes, and then I'm thinking about it. Yes.
Yes. So you move. What happens is you saw it, and then you immediately move to turn it over in the.
Right, I do that.
And then you move away. That's when you move away from letting go into the seeing.
So say it again. So I can stay with it, and because I am getting what you're making me aware of. This, I identify it as me, but I can't say it's me, the awareness, because that seems, it's much bigger than me.
Okay, in this moment, let's take a look right now without using the thinking, right? Where do you experience what you call me? Where is it? Can you keep the eye contact with me?
Okay, yeah.
That way I can...
Okay, no, good. No, thank you. No, I appreciate that. So where do when you look at me, because when I look away, I get the sense of just
you go
me.
into a world.
Yeah, and I got the sense of my isolated self, but looking at you, making the eye contact,
it keeps
the me in continuity with everything else.
In this moment, taking a fresh look right now, what is me? Can you find the quality of me?
When I look at you and when I make I can't find the quality of me necessarily. It's something is speaking.
Yes.
But that might be me, but it might.
Okay.
It's not just me.
Okay. Now there's something here that is experiencing itself as you in this body.
I guess that's true, but yeah, there's something I
something
can't
that
identify
experiences
that.
this body.
I don't know what that is.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's take a look in this
Okay.
moment. Yeah. Is that this?
Yeah. Is that
This?
this?
This? Is this aware right now?
I think it is aware, isn't it? It is.
Don't think.
And it's aware.
It's
yes.
aware.
It's aware.
Right?
Yes. I always go to the thinking
Yes,
thing because
yes.
anyway.
You see it.
I see,
right?
but no, forget that. So yes, it is aware.
Aware of all the shapes in the room, the colors.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah, it is aware.
It's aware.
Are you doing anything for that to be aware?
No.
No. Can you, in this moment, just try to get rid of that? Can you get rid of that? Lose it?
Get rid of awareness.
Yeah, just get rid of it. Lose it. Is it possible?
I don't think so. Only if I shut it off or if I start thinking, it's probably aware.
But thinking will happen in awareness.
No, but
you'll
I
be
can't
aware.
shut off the awareness because
No, you cannot.
I don't think so.
So-
It doesn't seem like it's possible because it
Okay.
is. Okay, I'm following you.
So this is, it's aware, you're not doing that and you can't stop it.
Okay.
Right?
Right.
Right. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. So take a look right now without thinking about it at all, because you absolutely do not need a thought to know yourself. You don't need a thought. Not one thought will help you, not at all. So this that is aware right now and cannot be got rid of. You don't need to try to get or keep because it's here. Is it in the body or out of the body?
It doesn't seem to be in the body. It seems to the body's in it.
Yes, yes. And yet it must be also in the body if you can experience sensation.
I guess, but
awareness.
it's much bigger than the body.
Right. Can we say it is in and out?
We could say, yeah, it must be some.
Okay.
I know it's big.
Okay.
That's
now,
what I know.
in this moment, we're looking for the quality of me. Right? Right?
Okay.
So this that is here, this aware presence of being that you're doing nothing for it to be here. Right? Right? You're doing nothing for that. It simply just is. You can't get rid of it.
Okay.
Yeah? How far away from you is it?
I don't even know what me is when you say that.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking you to look in this moment. Take a look.
How far away from me is it?
Yeah, in your experience right now.
It's not far away at all. I mean, I don't know what me is.
That's why I'm
don't have a
asking
sense
you.
of me at all in the awareness.
Right, exactly. This is the whole point.
The
So-
only thing that has a sense of me is a label, a role, an identification.
Exactly.
But awareness itself has
Yes.
no sense of me.
Yes, yes.
Is you're saying that
Absolutely.
I'm enlightened? Are you saying that's the enlightened experience?
Let's
Or
go one more
whatever?
step.
Okay.
Okay. I asked you how far away from you is it? And you cannot find a me. So then, in this moment, what is the difference between this that is aware and you? Is there any difference right now?
I don't know what me is. So I don't know if there is a difference.
That's the whole point, what I point to. Is like you cannot find a me. You cannot find something else than this. There's only this.
There is only
You
this.
cannot find something else. You're home.
I'm home. Okay. I mean, I'm getting it as you're sharing
You see,
it.
if you can look, there's this that is knowing itself,
Yes.
and then there's the idea of getting getting something, getting it.
Well, for this, whatever, there's this, and then there's the
What else?
disconnection from this, which then becomes me.
Okay, in this moment,
Yeah.
those are thoughts, right? All this is thoughts, coming and going. These
Right.
thoughts, there's the disconnection to this.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
thought's
yeah.
gone. What is here?
It's just us. Yeah. No, I totally get that and live that. And I see a role that I choose to play separate from that. But this can stay.
This is never lost, no matter what happens. This is not growing older. The body's growing older, but this doesn't age a moment.
And even without the body, this is still...
This doesn't die. This doesn't get sick.
awareness, this.
Without naming it, just
Yeah,
this
presence.
This,
Yeah.
this that is looking directly to itself. This that is seeing itself. It doesn't have birthdays.
I do live in this state at points, and then something happens.
Life happens.
Right.
This has seen every moment of your life.
Right.
This has seen it all. Nothing has been hidden from this. This has seen it all. It's seen all the ups and downs, the joy, the pain, but this itself has never been in pain.
This is the observer of all that. Just the pure observer.
This. Even before we give it a name, just
Yeah. Yeah.
it knows itself in this moment. And once we've seen this, that this is what I am, I'm not all that story, this is what I am, then all the story needs to come. Everything needs to come.
It needs to come.
It needs to come to be clarified from this point. It needs to be seen from this point.
I mean, I have been to this place, so
Yeah.
I know it. And,
You can't get away.
but then I come back into the world and...
Nothing happens.
No, but I forget it. I ignore it. I don't, what did you say? Value it. That's what you said. So that was a big, you value this awareness. It's simple, isn't it?
Absolute, so simple. It's so simple.
It's just awareness.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
pure awareness.
absolutely.
And that's all it is. It's everything and nothing in a sense.
Absolutely. It knows itself by itself.
Is it an it that knows itself? I mean, it's...
If we don't use any words right now, what is here knowing itself?
I don't know what it is, but
But
I am it. I'm it and part of it, and we are connecting in it.
yes, this is never hurt. You know, I have the whole human experience. I have all the triggers of all the memory body is full of all the behavior patterns, all the old stories, all the emotional body. It gets triggered, the whole thing comes, the mind plays, just like you.
It does. It plays it out.
Absolutely, absolutely, it all plays.
And you act it out as well, or...
It's like, I would say that it comes to be seen by that, and in the seeing there's a clarification. It's like it's just unfinished business playing out. Whatever is still unconscious in the system will arise to be seen.
And this then sees it.
This is seeing this moment happen. This is seeing us sitting in the chair, having this talk. It sees. And the more that comes into consciousness, the more the lights are on. It's like walking into a room with the lights on. Everything is being seen, so it doesn't take you. And it's an ongoing, moment-to-moment inquiry that's going on by itself.
But you were saying, when you get a trigger, what happens? What happens to this for you when...
To this, nothing happens.
But how do you act?
But the body-mind, it happens.
How do you act in the triggering of those patterns?
Okay. If it's like a trigger of, let's say, anger or irritation or whatever, I will just stop and experience the sensation moving through the body as a sensation without being me who is angry because.
So you don't act it out, you just...
Acting out can happen,
Right.
it can happen, but it's not, there's not somebody acting it out.
It takes practice. I mean, in a sense, familiarizing.
In the beginning, I will say it's very, very different now to when it was in the beginning. Because in the beginning there was a complete acting out, and it was like there was this recognition and then the whole play of personality, separate.
And now?
Now it's more all together, it's all integrated. Like it's all happening in the same moment. In those days it was more like I was either in the recognition or in the
acting.
caught up.
But you are making me now recognize something. You're helping me to see awareness.
What do you recognize?
I recognize it's always been there.
Yes.
And I've always known that it's always been there.
Yes.
But I haven't acknowledged what I've always known.
Exactly.
And I may go back out into the world and forget that. Or not. I don't know, but I have recognized it before and have forgotten it, but
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
But
what is the most important thing for you in this life?
I don't know. I mean, in this awareness, because you've helped me, it doesn't seem like I don't know.
If you were going to die next week, what would
I
be
don't know. I used to think like a relationship or something like that, or I don't know, because I don't know. But what does it matter?
No.
Doesn't. So
but it's like what is the most strongest desire and the most important thing? That is what you're going to live. You know.
Whatever.
That's where your attention goes.
To our most important thing.
To the thing that calls your attention most.
And so how do we get beyond that? I mean, how does this, by just staying in this awareness? Because right now, none of it's important.
Right.
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 So when we go back into the personalities, the important thing rises up for us to...
No, so for myself, is the thing that is the most love of my life is to be always in truth. To be always living in alignment with what is truly just feels true. Yeah, that's the most important thing for me. Like I wouldn't want to be living in a way where all my system was not
off,
aligned with the love of my life, which is to be in the true meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is what you do, just bring this awareness to people.
It looks like that, yeah.
It's simple in a way.
It's so simple. It's my passion because it's so simple, and it's so immediate. And then comes what follows after a recognition is all the mind's illusion is not cleared up. There's a lot of illusion left over in the mind level with yes but, when I'm in my relationship, when I'm in this, when I'm there, when I'm here, when this happens, I lose it. All that is illusion. And so these groups are here for clearing up, liberating
you gather
your
groups
mind.
that then help each other reflect.
The groups are, like I always usually ask to do an individual session with each one and get a clear
Like
stopping
this
of the
type of
mind.
thing.
More going more deeply. It's like I have a
Can
little.
we go deep?
Well, I have a little process I use
Oh.
that, and I don't really want to do
You
that
don't have to share it.
on film.
No, but it's okay. It's okay.
But I would do that.
With me sometimes.
Yes, absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely. Yeah, I'd love to.
It's a little process that make the state.
Well, it makes a very clear stopping of the mind and a clear seeing, because also a lot of words come that clear some things for the mind.
Right.
And then I invite those people to come together in a group who all already have the stopping of the mind moment.
Right.
And then all the yes but when I'm in my drama, when this happens, all the yes buts come from each one. And each one can see that what happens there happens here, what happens there happens here. It's all the same story.
It is.
It's all the same illusion. It's all the same mind. It's all the same one. And sometimes it's easier to see it when it's happening. And in that, there's my experience in these groups is that there's layers come off. We actually walk through and encounter what's arising in the moment.
And the idea is to live in this space always.
Well, you are.
We are.
You
but
already are.
Yeah, I get that.
You can't get out of it. But to wake up in this moment to moment to moment requires that this is the most important thing to you, that you look in every moment that arises in the drama, that you're always looking for what is real and what is true. But this happens by itself.
Yeah.
It's not something with your mind you can say, okay, I'll do that.
So meditation, all that's an avoidance in the sense of what is just here.
I would say that it gives a great ground.
It does.
Meditation, definitely. When I meet people who've been meditating, if they haven't got identified with a meditator,
Right.
then they already know what people call this space. They already know that so well, because it is, in meditation they tell you to become the witness.
Yeah.
But you already are the witness.
Right. That's the sense I get, that meditation.
So if the mind is trying to become this, it's impossible. But meditation is not out of place.
Well, it's sitting with the awareness. That's what I get.
It's developing the knack of watching the mind. Yeah? One thing more I would like to say is that it's not about escaping from all that arises.
Right.
It's really, really about coming fully into all that arises and meeting every moment fully, like being willing to experience every moment fully. And what part of you can say yes to that?
I guess all of it I have to say yes to it.
Yeah, there's one part of you that can say yes.
One part can say yes to experiencing it fully.
Every moment.
What do you mean? Yeah, yes.
One place in you can say yes to every moment.
The place where it arises from.
Yes.
And we don't have a choice in a sense, because
and there is nobody.
And there is nobody?
To make a choice. It's only this.
So this plays and creates that for the play. Or it doesn't matter really.
If we want to talk like that, we
No, we
can
don't.
say,
No.
we can say many things.
It doesn't matter. That's just...
What matters more than anything is this direct meeting. It speaks louder than all.
So when you first had this, you didn't know what it was, but when did you get what it was?
I started listening to Gangaji when
right.
I came back from Japan, and I started hearing, this is what's happening here. But still it wasn't a complete clarification. Still I was, what people say to me now, in and out of that realization. But then I came to Delano.
Delano in Pune.
And I was in a 3-week intensive, and on the first day when she started to speak about who am I, in the first session, bang.
You got it.
It was clear.
And it
stayed
stayed with you.
This is it. This is it.
And you
this
knew
is
you
it.
had it.
Then I knew that this was what had been. It was the realization of the realization of the realization. It's like no way to turn away, no way to. Yeah.
So yeah, you've reminded me of something in this.
What was it?
Awareness. You've connected me to something here. A remembering. There's no words for that. It's for me after leaving, remembering or bringing it or valuing it or doing something that I normally usually do with that.
Sometimes I say that you need to fall in love.
With this.
Yes. This is the beloved. This is the beloved.
It's so simple.
And when you found the beloved, you don't want to be far away for too long.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And do you have a website? You do have a website.
Yeah.
What is that?
Where is it?
What is it? Ananta?
Satsangananta.com.
How do you spell Ananta?
A-N-A-N-T-A.
A-N-A-N-T-A.
I'm not very good at
No, don't worry about
building
it.
websites. It's not very...
You know, as we disengage, I find myself coming back into a me persona. So what do you tell people about that?
This is it. Don't try to get away from that. This is the human experience.
But I love this other part too.
But they don't go anywhere. It doesn't go anywhere. It's all at the same time. It's this that is playing out as me. There's not something else. This was the biggest shock for my mind later, was that, oh my God, it's me. Me, who has been searching for that.
Awareness is you.
It's me.
Yeah.
It's me.
Yeah.
It was me all along.
Right. I see that.
There's no other. So now it's playing as little me, little English,
right.
Little crazy personality here. It's playing as that, and it's just playing as Alan here. as Vaughan, as Miranda, it's playing itself through form. There's nothing else.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it? Yes. Do you get that?
Yes.
It's amazing, huh? I mean, it's so simple as well. Thanks. Just a good reminder of that. No, I really did. I got it. You could see that, right?
Yeah, I can see it now.
Can see
It's
it.
not in the past. It's
Okay,
here.
good. I've always had it. No, I would have this awareness of awareness all the time.
You are in love with it. That's why you're interviewing people.
I
That's
am.
why.
I guess I am.
That's why you're
Thank
interviewing
you.
people in this, because you're drawn to this. You're in love with this. You want to be in the play of bringing this to light. Otherwise, it's playing that through you.
It is. Thank you.
Yeah, you're doing a great job. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You really merge with someone in that awareness. They become. There only is
One.
being, and that's just awareness.
Yes. This is the true meeting. Much better than drugs.
Yeah, it's much higher than drugs,
Yes,
isn't it?
yes.
When
You
you
don't
find-
come down.
When you find this, you don't need drugs.
That's it.
It's actually what the drugs are looking for.
Absolutely. Now I know that I was searching this through the drugs.
Because this is much more addictive. and better for your body and mind and spirit.
This is the nourishment.
It is.
Yeah.
But it's not immediately addicted. It hasn't immediately the love until you realize that
Until you taste it more and more. And then you don't settle for less. You cannot.
Well, I'm happy you're doing this. 'Cause it's a unique expression, and it's very. I mean, I've talked to lots of people, and you've made it very simple. And it is. It has to be.
It's time for that.
Yeah.
It's time for simplicity.
It's nothing more than just awareness. Awareness of awareness. That's.
And then even to say just awareness, I mean, it's the miracle that is playing this whole play.
Thanks.
Thank you. I've enjoyed very much.
I enjoyed it too. Yeah, was it a good transmission of pure? Yeah. Thank you. It's a good one.
Very good. Didn't need popcorn.
Didn't need popcorn. It was too engaging. Well, but you do this with everyone in a way, right? I mean, this is what you do.
Yes, but it depends on the openness.
Right. How? And I am familiar with.
That was
Yeah.
a beautiful session.
Thank you. No.
Really? Yeah, it's amazing to be experiencing